Greetings and salutations, Relax Gamer Nation, and welcome back to Space Engineers of Back to Basic with me, Relax Gamer. We extended our base. We had to relocate our wind turbine. We built a new cargo container here. We moved our assembler here, and so that our refinery could actually transfer the ingots that it's refining back to the cargo container, we did something like this. But I just discovered something. This is going to try and pull stuff from this. So if we put stone in here, this will probably most likely take it first, because it's on terrain all, I believe. No, it's not. I don't think it is. No, it's not on drain all. But it blacklists stone because we do not want stone in our basic refinery. So we need to change this out a little bit and do a one-way conveyor like we have over there. So let's tear this down. Let's turn creative mode on. Why do I start the episode with creative mode on? Well, with creative mode on, I can do spectator stuff. So with the little intros and stuff like that, when I'm waving at you and stuff like that, that's using the spectator camera. And that's what's going on there. Right here. Now, sorters. We learned last time about sorters, right? Or the time before that. I'm not entirely sure when, but it's pretty simple. The arrow is the direction in which ore is going to, or items or anything of the sort will travel. So for this sorter, we want to actually point it going in this direction. Why? This is so that anything that gets in the cargo system, if it's not stone, it'll go through there, and then it'll come out here. Many parts. So this way, we're going to send everything except, well, pretty much we're going to force everything to go this way. We're not going to do a drain all or anything like that because it'll constantly cycle everything. It'll take anything that goes into that cargo container, will get pulled out into that cargo container, pushed through this, then pushed through this, and pushed out through that. We don't want that. Ugh. Why are you so slow? Well, because we're low on power, which is something we need to address. Now, I have 3 small batteries here. Why do I have 3 small batteries here? Why didn't I go with a large battery, a large station-sized battery? Well, station-sized battery requires 80 power cells, which is a lot of power cells to invest at this juncture of the game. The small batteries only require 2 power cells, which is a lot easier to get. The only reason why we have these small batteries is to act sort of like a capacitor, if you would. So it takes the energy from there, it stores as much as it can into the battery, and then the rest of the system pulls out the information, the power. So the battery, these batteries put out an additional 200 kilowatts each, which is actually really good because our system right now, if we look into our system here, our refinery, when it's running, is pulling 330 kilowatts. Our basic assembler, when it's running, is pulling 280 kilowatts. And then our O2 generator pulls another 500 kilowatts when it's converting the ice into O2 and H2. To go into various containers or whatnot. So these 3 batteries are 600 kilowatts of additional power, and they cost us 6 power cells and a handful of other materials which are easily to obtain from our basic assembler. So these are basically just capacitor. The other thing that is contributing to this, well, actually isn't, is this battery, because this is on recharge. Because I want this rover to recharge as often as possible. So let's finish this off. Cannot withdraw. Probably because we don't have the construction components. There you go. So now, any stone that ends up in our cargo container, the refiner is not going to pull up from this side. It's going to go through the system. We put our ore and stone or whatever in here. The ore goes through here into the basic refinery and then comes out into our cargo container when our system needs it. While anything else, like stone, will go through our survival kit. Because it's more efficient in processing stone than the basic refinery. That will change once we get our full refinery. It comes out to about the same amount of processing power as the survival kit. But right now, since we are using stone for a variety of things, although we probably won't need to do that often, we need the stone for the survival kit. Anyway. So we need to deal with our power system. This turbine is only putting out about 437 kilowatts of power. 457 kilowatts of power at basic speed. It's pushing out 456.84 kilowatts. Which means our system needs a lot more power. So we are going to deal with that. But first we want to go and grab a bunch of materials. We're going to hand drill some stuff over there. We're going to hand drill some stuff over there. And I'm going to test this new rover out. Well, it's not a new rover. It's just a rover that I added to. So we're going to recharge off. We're going to lock off. And let's go. Now, the 4 wheels is going to make this thing a little more stable as well. But for some odd reason with space engineers, it likes to veer either one way or the other. Not entirely certain. There we go. Why that is, it could just be a programming thing. We have a bunch of silicon here, so what we're going to do... Actually, we have silicon over there too, but we have iron over there. Iron, cobalt, nickel. Why don't we come over here? We have more materials available over there. Silicon, ice, nickel, magnesium. We have magnesium over here at least. Which we don't really need unless we're building explosives or ammunition. Which on a vanilla game is really not that important because there's nothing you're going to be fighting. Even when you go to space, yes, there's the random cargo ships and stuff like that, but you're not going to be fighting them often until that point, right? I am going to modify my rear wheels here. Add some steering to it, and I'm going to reduce the steering down to 5. This will give us a little extra movement so that it's not like sliding as much. It's still going to slide. We're on ice, so that's kind of a given. So we're going to head over to our iron, nickel, magnesium, cobalt area. Oh, we have magnesium over there too. Oh, cool. But we're going to head over there. I'm going to do a bunch of hand mining. And then I will bring you back and we'll do some more stuff. We need to expand on our power system, which is a priority right now because we're starting to add bigger, badder things. Gyroscopes are important. Now, I did dig a hole somewhere around here, but I don't know where. Ah, there where. Here is the iron hole. Okay, now, 90% of this game is gathering materials. So, the other 10% of the game is building stuff. Well, it's probably a different split than that. It's like maybe 70-30, depending on what you do. Until you start getting things like auto mining and stuff like that, and start building drilling rigs, which we might consider doing in the future here. But I think that's too much of an expense right now. So I'm going to go mine down here. I got our tier 1 drill. The enhanced hand drill. Which wider cutout, faster mining. So it mines more material and opens up a bigger hole. Anyway, I will see you back shortly. So another thing that you can find on the surface of most planets are boulders. These boulders are rocks, well, they're basically like asteroids, but tiny, and they're embedded into the planet here. And one such rock is like this. This is a silicon boulder. So from here, we can do a lot of stuff like land drilling. So we're not drilling into the ground, we're just drilling into the rock here. One thing you need to be careful of is when you're rock drilling like this, or boulder drilling, or whatever you want to call it, it's a good idea to figure out which way the slope is going so that you don't lose too many rocks. And once you dig in a little deeper, like so, then you don't have to worry too much. But as you can see, our rocks are going on a little journey.
Inventory full.
Somewhere. Silicon stone. Give me the silicon. That's stone. Drop the stone off. So sometimes you'll be lucky and find stuff like this. They're fairly common, but sometimes they can be sparse as well. So you just got to keep your eyes out for it. Okay, that's my silicon. Stone right now is not as much of a necessity as it was once before, because we actually have some solid sources of mining. So right now we have a bunch of silicon. Don't know how that stone got in there. I probably accidentally put it in there. We have a bunch of silicon, we got a bunch of iron, or we have a bunch of nickel. So we're pretty well set up here for our tier 1 stuff. I may refer to things as tier 1, tier 2, etc. Because in a sense, that's how it is. Tier 1 is like iron, nickel, silicon, cobalt. Then tier 2 is like the more advanced materials like silver, magnesium, gold. Then tier 3 is going to be your platinum and uranium. So I may refer to things in that fashion. Right now we're going to take our rover back and hook it up. And get the refinery working. It's windy, so our wind turbines are going to go a little better. Produce a little bit more power. Or wind turbine, rather. But once we drop off this load of stone, or load of ore, then we can build another tower or design a different type of tower. So far you've just seen me make a single post with a turbine on top of it. There's more variations. You can check that out in my turbines video, which I might link in the card above. I'm not entirely sure. Storms are dangerous because they suck up the oxygen, the local oxygen, so yeah. So you need to have your helmet on for that specific reason. Our hydrogen bottle's still full, which is perfect. Our wind turbine is probably putting out more power at 672 kilowatts in a windstorm. Not bad. Not bad at all. But I'm gonna wait for this windstorm to go away because it makes recording a little more difficult because of the sound. And I will see you in a moment. This is another reason why you want a rover. Because over in this direction, there's an unknown signal. It's 3.6 kilometers away. We might have just enough time to get to it. You can get to it faster for the most part with your jetpack, because now you're flying. But with a rover, it allows us to get decent distance without the need of using hydrogen fuel. So I'm going to lie on over here, well, drive on over here. And pick up my unknown signal if I can. Oh, hello. Looky, looky. Look what we found. Gold and silver. That's important. A U for gold. A G for silver. That is really good. That's super good news. Because now we have all the materials we can possibly get from the planet in a relatively close distance from our base. So that's great. Excellent. It's going to allow us to get into space a lot faster, which is where the next part of the game is going to go. No, it's this. Don't roll on me. Don't roll on me. Okay. Woo! A rainbow grinder! Now, these things are fairly important in start game because they have materials in here. This one, not so much. It just has credits and medkits, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. But you can also tear these down to get a few steel plates. The steel plates aren't necessarily as worth it, but the other stuff is worth it. So if you come across one of these, take down all of these components. If you're really hard up on steel plate, then grind this down, but it's really the time required in order to grind all this is not worth it compared to what materials you get out of it. Like, we get one steel plate per one of these. Let's say that's one that's 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, it's not worth it. So now that we got that, we can head back. We discovered gold while trying to find this unknown signal, which is great. That's just perfect, in fact. Makes things a lot better because with silver, we can build our medical components. And gold allows us to build superconductors, which may not be super necessary right now. Another thing that you want to do as soon as possible is mark where your base is. Because no. Oh, frick! And I have a gyro on it. What? Why? Why did I still have stuff in here? Frick. Okay. We'll be fine. Gyro's there, okay. Crap. No, frick. Crap. Well, at least I still have a majority of wheels. Don't think I have components enough for a cargo container, maybe? If I do, that'd be great. I don't understand why the material wasn't pulled out. Interior plate. Well, that sucks. Okay. This might disappear. I could fly back to base. Get those interior plates. Alternatively, I can toss a bunch of stuff in here. What's most important here? Okay, so it took the silicon, but not anything else, really?
Inventory full.
Let's just put as much stuff as I can fit into the seats. That's as much stuff as I can fit into the seats. Dang it.
Inventory full.
Okay. Well, that was unfortunate. That's okay. I got a source. It's 1.4. It's fine. .4 loss. It's fine. This vehicle is not that stable on this terrain by the looks of it. I think I need to do some modifications. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to drop this stuff off, and maybe I'll go back to pick up that ore if it's still there. Chances are it won't be. That's it for this episode. If you enjoy it, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Stuff like that. Anyway, until next time, I've been Rox Gamer, and I hope I have been helpful. Ciao!